Michael B. Jordan walked into the American Cinematheque Awards expecting a night of celebration, but what he didn't expect was how emotional the timing would feel. Because while he was being honored for the work that defines his career, another moment was happening across Hollywood, one that carried the presence of someone who isn't here anymore, but whose impact hasn't faded for a second. The night began with Jordan receiving one of the industry's most respected honors. Friends, directors, and longtime collaborators filled the room, sharing stories that revealed just how much his influence has grown. It wasn't just praise, it was recognition of the consistency, ambition, and quiet discipline that have shaped him into one of the biggest names of his generation. Every tribute showed a different piece of his journey, from the early grind to becoming a director and producer determined to open doors for others. But while the applause echoed in one room, another powerful moment was happening just a few miles away. Chadwick Boseman, Jordan's late Black Panther co-star, was being honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His family, closest friends, and the people who knew his power up close showed up to celebrate a legacy that remains untouchable. His name now sits among icons, shining permanently in a place where fans from around the world can stop, look down, and remember the man who brought strength and heart to every role he touched. And that overlap, the same day, the same city, two legacies being acknowledged at once, hit Jordan deeply. Because for him, Boseman wasn't just a co-star, he was a standard. Someone who carried himself with a grace that made everyone around him want to be better. When Jordan reflected on being honored the same day Boseman received his star, he didn't hide how meaningful it was. It felt like a reminder that their stories were still connected, even now. Their bond began long before the world watched them clash on screen. Jordan admired Boseman's presence, his purpose, and the way he treated his craft like a responsibility rather than a spotlight. And in many ways, Jordan's drive to elevate others mirrors the example Boseman lived by. That's why the timing of the two ceremonies didn't feel random. It felt symbolic. One star celebrated for what he built, another for what he's still building. Jordan's career has evolved into something bigger than acting. He's shaping stories, backing new creators, and using his platform to push representation forward. In that sense, the honor wasn't just about what he's accomplished. It was a nod toward the future he's fighting for. And when you view that alongside Boseman's lasting impact, the message becomes clearer. Legacy isn't just about what you leave behind. It's about what you inspire in others. So the day ended with two tributes, two careers, and two paths that still run side by side. One honoring a life that changed the culture, and one celebrating a man determined to keep pushing what's possible. And if there's one thing this moment shows, it's that sometimes the universe aligns things in a way that reminds us of how connected our stories really are, especially when greatness inspires greatness.